Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sim Experience SA 2024 Mazda MX5 Cup, coming to you live from the HOCKENHEIM circuit, proudly sponsored by the Safe Boys. This, of course, is the final round of our championship. This is round 10 of the 10-round championship. So we're about to head into qualifying. The drivers are actually already on circuit, so I'm going to just run through this as quick as possible. So this, of course, is the 10th round, this therefore being HOCKENHEIM circuit. The point structure, I'm just going to quickly put that up on screen, but basically it will be 350 points for first place, all the way down to 10 points for 30th place and below, plus there's 35 points for pole, 32 points for second, and 30 points for third if you qualify in the top three. And then coming into this round, we have Jason Underwood with 5,988 points. Sean Olivier is the only driver that could potentially beat him. So for Sean to be able to win it, he has to qualify in the top three and he has to win both races. And then he could potentially actually win the championship. And just looking at our other drivers, Stan Bezadnut leads the second page in P11. Emily Benz there. Harvey Coast moving up nicely. Johan Bierkus also up to 13th. They're moving up nice. Julian has moved up nicely as well. From the drivers that have missed a round or two have moved down. And then, of course, the final page, unfortunately, some of those drivers haven't driven with us in a while. Hilke is actually here tonight. But we are going to jump to qualifying now. So the drivers are officially on circuit. So this now is qualifying official. So this is round 10 of the Safe Boys MX5 Cup. Official qualifying. It's a 15-minute qualifying session. We are about halfway through the session. There's 8.5 minutes left to go. This is the HOCKENHEIM National Circuit. So it basically just cuts out a short portion as you're looking at the map of the track. At the bottom where the sort of hairpin is, that would usually go down a slight kink and then down to a very, very tight hairpin. That part of the circuit is now basically cut away. The rest of the circuit is all the same, and it is a slightly more flowing layout like this without that sort of sharper corner there. I am your commentator Dennis Mitchell, and I'm joined once again by Sean Woodgate. Good evening, Sean. Hopefully we can hear you. We are having some issues with Discord, our communication means, so hopefully we can all hear each other clearly.
Can you, Dennis? Good evening, everyone. Nice to be here again. And the championship is an element of dealing with tonight. But which we're talking about. Just after the parabolic, they take a nice, much more gentle hairpin and come back all the way. So not many corners that have names here, but certainly an interesting circuit nonetheless.
Yeah, unfortunately it broke up, so the first part of what you were saying we didn't really hear, but I think the latter half we got to hear, so yeah, hopefully the audio gets a bit better. Unfortunately, it is not down to us, it's down to the Discord. Discord is something that is out of our control, but it is something that's free, so we are very fortunate to be able to use it. We do have some other means of communication, which unfortunately we weren't able to get ready for tonight, but for future events, we can always have that as a backup should Discord be an issue again. But hopefully tonight we can at least still enjoy some racing and have commentary when it's most important in the race.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody on the stream could just tell us how the voices sound, whether we both sound terrible or whether it's only myself or only Dennis. But as Dennis said, it's Discord that seems to be playing up tonight, and even though we can apologize for it, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, right. So in qualifying, we have just over 6 minutes left to go. Currently watching Rudy van der Westhuizen. So at the moment, we have Matty Ryan in provisional pole position from Timo Smit, Jonathan Benz, Gerrit Bierkus, then Monet Deploy, Emily Benz, Malt van Aarde. Malt actually having a really good pace here. He's actually just, I think, jumped up one place ahead of Emily. Sean Olivier currently in 8th. The potential title challenger, the only man that can challenge Jason, currently only in 8th place. Rian van der Westhuizen, Andre Hildebrand, Julian Brains, Stan Bezadnut, Hilke Veronica, Rudy van der Westhuizen, Harvey Koos, and Johan Bierkus. So 16 drivers here. We don't have Jason here yet. Jason, I know, was playing cricket, so he might not be joining us tonight, which would make it extremely close. I know previously he had actually stated that he might not be able to make the final round. And coming into this round, he has 718 points lead over Sean Olivier, if my math was correct, which means that Sean has to win race 1, race 2, which would give him 700 points. Then he has to qualify in the top 3 to get those extra minimum 30 points. If he does that and Jason doesn't show up, he will be crowned champion. It is a long shot, but it is a possibility.
So, as you say, purely mathematical, and if Jason does show up and do fairly well as he normally does, then that's going to be out of reach. But who knows? We've seen funnier things happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. But at the moment, Sean not showing the pace. He's currently only in 8th place, 1.6 seconds off. And the top 3 are covered by 0.241 of a second. So he needs to get up there. The top 5 actually are covered by 0.4 of a second. He needs to get within 0.4 of a second. He's going to have to shave off 1.2 seconds off his current fastest time to even stand a chance. And then he still has to win both races, which means he's going to have the speed to come from the back of the field in race 2 potentially. So all to play for, but not easy.
Lucas flying along as we would expect of the flying bumblebee. He's deploy also circulating. Just the hairpin, I think, where they come back. This is onto the straight. There you see the exit to the pits. So this is onto the main straight to complete another lap. Let's see if we can have a round like we did last week with not a single yellow infringement for abuse of track limits. Hopefully Mornay is going to be one of those that's going to show the way around very nicely.
Let's do an onboard lap with Timo. I think he's about to start a flying lap with 3 and a bit minutes to go. So this will be potentially his last attempt. Oh, pushing the limits there. That was close. Let's see if Timo can jump up from 3rd. Currently in 3rd place. Gerrit Beekers in 1st, Matthew Renan in 2nd, and Timo in 3rd. Jonathan Benz currently 4th, and Mornay Deploy in 5th.
This is the 2nd corner. It's the entrance to the Parabolica. Then the Parabolica is a continuous sweeping left-hander before they get to that.
He abandoned that lap, so that's why he suddenly jumped there. Okay, so this is now the final part of the stadium. 2nd last corner, then into the last corner. So maybe with this lap we can actually watch the corner that is cut out, the hairpin that is cut out on the national circuit. So basically it's one corner that's removed and a kink that is removed. I think that kink is potentially called a corner. The rest of the layout is identical.
Yeah, it doesn't have a name. Yeah, they just basically shorten the corner. That at the exit of the Parabolica, they do a very mild hairpin compared to the very pointed hairpin. If they were to go further on that, they would experience.
The Timo was trying to get a perfect lap, so he kept escaping, so we won't watch him right now. Hopefully he gets the lap in that he was hoping to get. Perhaps we can get a lap in with Jonathan Benz. I think he's just about to start a flying lap. Right, with just under 2 minutes to go, this will be Jonathan's last attempt. With the lap being just shy, well, just over 1 minute 40. I'll only have enough time to get just one lap in, and Jonathan is crossing the line just in time with 1 minute 44 to go. So it's this.
Right, as we know, with qualifying, when qualifying ends, it ends. Whether you're still on a lap, it doesn't count that lap.
He abandoned the lap, so that's the end of that lap. Unless he maybe just crossed the line and ruined his time. But that's it for Jonathan. He's now pitted. Let's have a look at Sean Olivier. Where is Sean? How is Sean doing? Because this is the most important driver to be watching relative to the championship standings. This could be our title contender or title winner, depending. I'm not sure if this is an out lap or not. If this is an out lap, he doesn't have enough time to do a full lap. It's showing...
Yeah.
Okay, there it shows his sector time and it's not fast, so he's down. So he won't be improving on this lap. Let's have a look at Stan Bezadino. Stan, I think he's on a good lap. Is he improving? Oh, no, it's not showing it. So it's instead going to show us the current positions, which might actually change by the end of the session. So we will just keep that.
With Sean ending in 8th, he doesn't get any qualifying bonus point. That means the championship, if Jason runs well. Where's Jason? I'm actually...
Jason's not in tonight, yeah. But that does make Jason champion.
Yeah. I was about to say, with the lead that he does have, and with Sean not getting any points, Jason wins the championship in absentia.
We're going to jump to an ad break. We'll be back shortly for race 1. right, welcome back everybody. While we are waiting for everything to happen on screen, this is the Sim Experience SA 2024 Mazda MX5 Cup, brought to you by the Safe Boys. If you have any safe requirements, you can head over to www.thesafeboys.com. Give Johan a call. I'm sure he can help you out of whatever your situation might be, whether you need a new safe or an old safe or a safe opened up. Give him a shot. Of course, this is race 1. We're just waiting for all the drivers to get onto the grid, which for some reason we are not seeing at the moment. I see it in one of the screens on the other side, but I'm not seeing it here. Alright, and hopefully Johan is on track and all okay. I believe the drivers are now showing on track, but for some reason it is not showing on my main view. There we go, we do have them there. Alright, we're about to go, and off we go. Of course, I'm your commentator Dennis Mitchell, and joined once again by Sean Woodgate. We unfortunately have some voice communication issues, so hopefully everything plays out nicely tonight, but we are both your commentators. So good evening, Sean.
Good evening, Dennis, and thanks again. We were just in time to see the Flying Bumblebee get off to a good start, and he really had an amazing start. The battle that's raging behind him means that they're fighting for position, and he gets away. But Melton Otto, he has, I think, that second position sorted out now. And still there's battling going on. Is that Jonathan Benz? That's a bit further back in about 5th or 6th place. So the guys are certainly fighting it out, even though it would appear that the way they're going to finish now, the championship is decided, even though the championship winner is not here. That's what happens if you consist leading up to the championship. But nonetheless, at this stage, Mornay Deploy fighting. He didn't qualify well. He's in 6th position now. I'm actually thinking of Sean Willify that didn't qualify well. He was in 8th, I think, in qualifying. But nonetheless, the race is off to a good one. And we have, let me get it right, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cars on track. Oh, already, and I was just talking about that. I didn't see who it was that got the penalty.
It was Matty.
But we've had Matty, and he's in 2nd place.
Yeah, he's got Timo all over him. Yeah, not a good time to have a warning.
Yeah, you have to slow down slightly. Well, it's disappeared, so it's probably served it already. So Timo Smith is right there with him in 3rd position. Oh, there's a bit of track abuse. But I think that's just a driver error rather than the track abuse. But it'll be interesting to see how the system reads that, because definitely with a big runoff you have there, the fact that you ran off and could come back is to your advantage. So Timo Smith fighting it out.
Good evening
And
to
Sean-
Arian Balder in the YouTube. So good to have you watching, but you're not driving.
Yeah. It's nice to have the guys in the YouTube channel as well, so we can see them. Let's just find where that is. And Aryan was with us in the earlier sets of races, but certainly, I'm not sure, probably work commitments or something like that. He didn't stick around with us. Unluckily through Discord, he's also track limits again.
Slightly off track there, and lost a bit of drive as well. I think that's why he didn't get a penalty, but Jonathan now getting up inside of him. No, now I'm going to have to do the cutback, but Matty's got it covered. But now Emily's right behind as well.
The change of direction defended Jonathan from Matty, so a little bit of erratic driving there from Matty. Jonathan hoping to bounce on it, but just wasn't in the right place at the right time.
So now Timo is up into 2nd place. Will he be able to catch Carrot? So Bumblebee is heading off. We haven't said that in a while. Bumblebee's had a few bad races, only getting 4th place basically. But currently got a 1.5 second lead over Timo Smith. Can Timo Smith get his first victory? Can he chase down the Bumblebee? Can the Bumblebee pull away still? So we'll keep an eye on that. Matty now in 3rd place. There's a bit of a fight behind him. It looks like Monet Deploy fighting well there. Yeah. A nice big pack there. And Sean Willify in 7th place at the moment, so he's still fighting, although he doesn't have a chance of winning the championship anymore. That has gone. Fortunately, he didn't get in the top 3 in qualifying, so he cannot win the championship even if he were to win both races.
Right, so this Hockenheim circuit also very flat, as it were, not much of any undulation. So it's just the corners that you have to contend with, and not with these cars. We did hear that because they're not such big horsepower cars, that if you have a track that has high uphills, then they certainly are lacking a bit on the power side.
Bit of a moment there. I think that was for, who was that? Was that when they deploy, they got a bit of a tank slapper on there, I think.
Yeah. So it looks as though is it Emily in fourth?
It is. Ahead of her dad,
So
yes.
she says, yeah. I wonder where Jonathan's gone to, because his car's in similar colour, because they're in the same team, but I don't see him at the moment.
Stan and Malt having a nice here. Oh, Stan getting a nice drive, just putting in front of Malt there. Nicely timed.
Yeah. That corner also, he wasn't driving defensively, he went wide, which is the racing line, but it looks as though they missed the act. Another warning going out to somebody there. So certainly the system is active with the warnings tonight.
They're saying that Garrett can't wait to delete RaceRoom after tonight.
Yeah, he's actually practiced for a bit. So
For a sim that he hasn't really gelled with, he's still managed to get a good result. So he's up there. He came into this round in 4th place. So I mean, to still be challenging for top 3, I mean, that's not bad if you can race something that you're not happy with, and that just shows the talent of the driver.
Emily, in the meantime, has been overtaken. She's down into 5th now, so I think it's Jonathan that got past Emily. I'm not sure if Jonathan made a mistake or something, because I thought he was ahead of her, but we might have just been identifying the wrong car.
No, it definitely was Jonathan in 4th place. So yeah, he obviously went wide somewhere. We did see him running wide out of turn 1, so maybe he got a cut that we didn't notice, or maybe he just lost a bit of drive and guys got past him into the next turn.
So I tell you what, Emily is only point somewhat of a second, and there Emily goes, well, I might be a few seconds behind because I'm on the YouTube feed, but Emily passing Jonathan again, so maybe her car just going better than his, or her driving just better than his, who knows.
Nice battle here between Julian and Rian van der Westhuizen. Rian also having had a good few rounds, has worked his way up in the championship nicely, so good to see. Also hasn't had the best of luck in some of the championships, but having some good races lately.
Yeah.
And the comments, we have Chris Collison. Evening, Chris. Good to have you in the comments. Then congratulations to Jason, and bring on ACC. Yes, our championship following this, we're going to be doing a GT3 series in Assetto Corsa Competizione. So that will be the next challenge for the drivers, to go from RaceRoom, or I guess it would go from R Factor, or originally back from AC original to R Factor to RaceRoom, and now we're going to go to ACC officially. So that should be something nice for the drivers.
Now just getting another track warning, and also the change in race format for the next series,
Yes.
which I don't think you've told the people about.
So the format for the next series, this series we've had 2 sprint races, 2 20-minute sprint races. So you do the qualifying, it sets you up for race 1, and obviously in race 2, top 10 gets reversed. For the GT3 series, we're going to have a single 60-minute race. It'll be one 60-minute race, but the drivers will have a compulsory, mandatory pit stop that they have to do, and that will include a tire change. So they have to come in, change tires. So that will, I think, make it a bit more exciting. So we will see action in the pits. I think being an hour race might. We see. I think that was Emily just losing it slightly there. Managing to avoid the wall at least. She actually lost it there in the practice session as well, in the exact same corner. So yeah, the race format will be a bit different. It's the most popular series to drive in sim racing is GT3, so it should be quite popular. It is a very popular sim as well, so I think it should have good numbers. I know in our practice races we did have very good numbers, so I think to see quite good numbers and quite good racing, I think the driving there, the drivers seem to really love it, so I think we could have a much bigger spread for the victories. So I think the likes of the Bumblebee and so forth will not have it so easy. Jason, I think, won't be racing because he's not, his PC doesn't seem to run it so well with the triple screens. He has triple screens now. I think he's got triple wide, super wide. So he struggles to run, so he said he probably won't be racing. So we won't have Jason driving with us. We will have other drivers driving with us that have not raced with us in a while. So we could have very, very different drivers running at the front. So it could be a totally different look.
Which would be good. I enjoy the championships where you're not quite sure who's going to be winning what races. And the series previous to this, Khaled, I would say most of the time had it all his own way. This time it was Jason that just got it fairly, I wouldn't say easily, because with the reverse grid all the way down to 10th position, they really had to work hard in race 2, but the good drivers managed to do that. But certainly with a 1 hour endurance race and also the pit stops coming in, that's going to make life very interesting.
And speaking of endurance racing, we do also have an R-Factor endurance series currently running. We have round 2 of that coming up next Sunday. So next Sunday, if you want to, you can join us. That'll be that's a 4-hour race at Road America that is being run in R-Factor 2. That's GT3. So we have, I think there are, if I'm correct, 15 teams currently entered, possibly 16. So we have teams that do driver swaps and all that. So that should be quite entertaining to watch as well. So if anyone wants to get an extra race fix, they can come watch that, support the drivers, support the teams, and get used to GT3s before we do the ACC GT3 series, which will only be 2 races a month. So we'll try and squeeze in 2 races a month, possibly 3 if there's a 5-week, but we will have a break between the endurance race and the other races. So lots of GT3 racing to come.
Right, sounds all very interesting. And that first endurance race that you had quite a few competitors from outside of our borders, which makes it, of course, interesting as well.
Yes, and we do have a few more teams, international teams, well-known teams that have signed up, so that should also be expanding, which will be, as pointed out there right now, will be fun. Definitely will be fun to watch. Some good high-level competition definitely makes the drivers more aware of what's capable, and it helps them learn and so forth.
Right, in the meantime, we've missed that Emily has dropped down, and now she's dropping down all the way, so I don't know if she's hit something. There she was to the left there, so I'm not sure if she had an incident, but has got going again by the looks of it, but now in 10th, and thinking that she was behind Jonathan, she was in 5th, so that's a bad luck story there. We didn't see that in the feed, but hopefully she recovers and gets to feature higher up in this race as well.
Well, we've got a few battles throughout the field. I'm just trying to figure out which one is the best one to be watching. I think the closest one is probably this battle at the moment. So we have Rion van der Vestes, and right in front of him we have Julian Brains, and in front of Julian Brains we've got Sean Oliver about a second up the road, so that's quite close.
Yeah, Emily's over 3 seconds behind them, so she's not part of that battle, but certainly that one is an interesting one. And then the lead to second, and second to third, and third to fourth, that's just 1.5 to 2 seconds, and fairly consistent. You can see the cars spaced out, so not much changing there. And then further back,
I don't know if you could see that. You could see the understeer in Rion turning into the corner. His tires were turned full onto the right, and the car just drifting. Just struggling with understeer there.
Yeah. The other one that's worth mentioning is Hilke Marenga with the other Van der Vestes for 13th and 14th, and even behind them Harvey Goos. Those are fractions of a second as well. So maybe they still fighting it out further back in the field. And
nice move there by Rion doing a cutback. Sorry to butt in. Good move there. Nicely done.
Yeah. Just to show how realistic the simulator is, the position of this camera when it looks down the straight, then they've got one of the boards that's in the way and you don't see the whole of the straight, so they've actually simulated that completely as well.
So just looking at some of the other drivers in the field, looks like we a little off track there for Harvey Goos briefly. Johan Beekers currently in 16th place, not having his best race. He's been doing quite well in the previous races, but at the moment looks like he's maybe had a moment. He's a bit off currently of Harvey Goos. Harvey Goos also not having the greatest race, also once again has had quite a few good races of late. He's actually worked his way up the championship quite nicely. up into 14th place. We've got Hilke ahead of him in 14th place. So Hilke, having not raced quite a few of the races, joining us again tonight, having quite a fun, good race at the moment, decent pace. Currently doing, I think, close to his personal best lap times of a 1:44. So good times at the moment. And he has Rudy van der Westhuizen just in front of him. So looking there, that's Rudy van der Westhuizen right in front of him there. Rudy's also doing fairly well. And there's a bit of a gap to Stan Bezedno, who's, I think it's 8 seconds up the road. And then Stan, I think, has got about a 2 to 3 second gap to Malt. Now Malt, we did see had a bit of a moment. We didn't see exactly what caused the moment, whether it was a driver error or whether it was an incident. Unfortunately, in 11th place. Now, in some of the practice sessions, there was one practice session, unofficial, the final unofficial practice session before the race went into official practice. Malt was sitting in 4th place in the times, so his times were actually looking really good. Didn't quite pan out that way in qualifying, unfortunately, and now we see him with a cut track warning.
Yeah, it's not a nice thing to have, but certainly the system is very strict, but very fair and very consistent.
So Timo now under threat from Matty. Matty coming good at the latter stages of the race.
Matty's been, he's been around for quite a while, and has he joined us in the interviews already? I think he has.
He has. Unfortunately, he missed the last week's interviews. He didn't realize he was on the podium, so he sort of just left. Didn't think he had actually made it, but he managed to, just by the skin of his teeth, get onto the podiums. But I think he was a bit surprised by that.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
Of course, it's with the points being allocated. He goes around the outside. Is he going to cut back, or it gets defended? Which they're allowed to, as long as you don't change direction twice. And that was actually a very good cutback to put the car in front of. So.
And Julian and Rian still having a good battle as well, yeah, between the two of them. They're fighting there at that corner now as well. The corner that Rian made the nice pass 2 or so laps back, or 3 laps back. But Julian is stuck with him.
Here's that board that I said you can't see the straight, which is a pity. Julian tried to sell him the dummy there, but it looks as though it was well defended and very fairly. So nothing too bad about that. Then again, Julian goes the cutback maneuver, and again, if you drive middle of the road like that, it's almost to your own detriment, because you're either not getting the slingshot for going wide, or you're not being able to take the apex and drift out wide because you're in the middle of the track.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, a nice rule. There's very much off the track. Well, no, it was just my perspective that was wrong. It looked for a while as if the car, the blue and silver or the blue and grey, was off the track, but it was only half the car that was off the track. And a nice battle, yeah.
Yeah, the audio comments as well. Thanks for that. The feedback is great. Yeah, I would imagine my comments are clear because I don't have to go direct by Discord, which is what we use to get Sean's commentary. So my commentary can actually go direct into the feed, which goes to YouTube, where Sean comes via Discord, which comes into the feed and then goes to YouTube. So Discord seems to be having an issue, and that's unfortunately why Sean is not going to be sounding so clear. So apologies for that, but it is unfortunately out of our hands. But at the moment, Sean, you're actually sounding fairly okay at the moment. So hopefully it will be decent for the end of the race, and hopefully for the second race.
Yeah, we battle along regardless and try our best to see what we can do with what we've got. But the challenge that I have is that the little text box in the top left, I cannot read it all, so I've got to wait for the text boxes that appear in the bottom here. Like here, I can see that it's one of the Benzes, it's probably Jonathan, and he is behind Matty, I think it is.
Yes, he's all over Matty. And it's interesting because two laps ago, Matty was all over Timo, giving Timo a hard time. But that I think slowed them down, and that allowed Jonathan to come. And now he's attacking. Matty's had to go defensive and suddenly now Timo's pulled away slightly. So given Timo a bit of a breathing space, but looks like they might have actually caught him through turn 1 there. They're extremely close between the three of them.
Yeah. So, and that's for, well, high up in the placings. I don't think quite for the grid, but or for podium, but certainly a nice battle that's going on there.
I believe this will be the final lap.
Yeah. So 20 minutes goes by quite quickly, and where Julian was very close and fighting it out, he's now got at least 6 or 8 car lengths that he seems to have lost on the car ahead of him. So unlucky not. So here's the leader, the Flying Bumblebee flies at last again. Sumeri's going to be very happy. Gerrit might get supper. But yeah,
I'm sure he's happy. His tummy's probably happy.
Yes. Going along very well, and quite a nice distance that he's in the lead. Oh, is it going to be on the brakes? I was thinking there's going to be a dive bomb, but it didn't happen. Julian did manage to brake and avoid the collision, which is good. But yeah, the final lap, and John, Dennis, you that can see everything, you take us to the end.
All right, I believe Gerrit will be crossing the line now, so we're just going to watch him as he comes up to the line. But the battle for third is extremely hot at the moment. Right, Gerrit is going to take victory, no doubt about that. Timo will take second. Who's going to get third? Is it going to be Jonathan around the outside? Or is it Matt? I think Matty's just going to... Matty, I think, just held on to it there. That was extremely close. Wow. Monet will take fifth. And sixth place will be Sean Olivier. Rian van der Westhuizen will hold off Julian. That was a good dice between the two of them there. Well done, guys. Really nice race. Andre Hildebrand, we didn't really speak much about him, but Emily Benz right behind him there at the end there. Malt van Aarde eventually came through to 11th, so he's in the final sector now in the stadium. Second last turn.
The visuals actually, because these cars are sort of open cockpit, even this late in the race, Malt van Aarde got a slowdown limit. You see the corrections that the drivers are doing all the time to keep the car pointed in the direction that they want it to go.
Right, and then Hilke coming up the line. Yeah, so it's nice to be able to see you in the cockpit a bit more, not having a closed cockpit like some of the cars. I think it's one of the nice things about a Formula car is you can also see the driver, as we see Rudy van der Westhuizen coming across the line. Now Harvey Hoos. And then Johan Beekers will take 16th place.
Right.
So a good race, one result for Gerrit Beekers.
He's going to be happy about that.
I'm just going to record these results quickly.
They're going to pop up in a minute with a whole screen, and then you could probably print screen that. There you go.
All right, so there we have it. Officially, Gerrit Beekers taking race 1 victory from Timo Smit and Matthew Rien and Jonathan Benz in 4th place, Monet Duploy in 5th place, Sean Olivier, then Rian van der Westhuizen, Julian Brains, Andre Hildebrand, Emily Benz, Malt van Aarde, Stan Bezuidenhout, Hilke Vereniging, Rudy van der Westhuizen, Harvey Goos, and Johan Beekers. And we will be right back after, I think it's about a 5-minute break, a warm-up. Then we'll be back for race 2, the final round of the championships. See you then. right, welcome back everybody. And this of course is race 2 of the Safe Boys MX5 Cup round 10, the final race of the final round of the championship. This is race 2, another 20-minute race around the Hockenheim National Circuit. I am your commentator Dennis Mitchell, joined once again by Sean Woodgate. Welcome back, Sean, for the final race of the championship.
Yes, and with Emily starting from pole, let's see what she's made of to show the guys what to do.
All right, just coming into this round, just to have a quick look at our points. If we can just quickly put that on the screen for everyone to hopefully get a glimpse at. And then we can get going with the racing. All right, I believe everyone is about to head off. All 16 drivers should be on track. As we wait for the go. Right, we are away. Yes, there we go.
Let's see now if the other guys can keep each other busy. It's Julian, and who's with Julian? See if they can keep each other busy so that Emily can get away.
Julian and Andre Hildebrand and Sean Olivier and Jonathan Benz there, so going to be tight.
Yeah.
Jonathan Benz setting out, Julian out inside, so all looking for a gap. Hopefully they'll get through there nice and smooth.
Julian tried to get in there, but it looks as though he's being harassed now and in turn by Sean Woollyfield, I think it is. So that's going to mean that Emily, if she just gets her foot down and stays level-headed, she might get a second or so gap from them. But not likely.
Taking a safer route, I think, around the outside there. Quite dangerous up the inside with all the cars going for the braking move there, but unfortunately, we're getting a bit loose and takes out, I think that was Rian van der Westhuizen.
And looks as though that car went backwards into the wall, so hopefully it'll be back onto the circuit and at least can remain racing.
Slight off track there for, I think that was Julian Brains as well, as we see a warning for Jonathan Benz.
Yeah, and they're all behind Emily, so for her, that's good news for Julian to get a slowdown. And if Julian gets a slowdown, Sean Olivier is going to be all over him, and that might change position. So we'll have to wait and see what they're going to do to settle that.
And another warning still for Benz. So Jonathan having a hard time getting rid of his warning.
Yeah, you've got to be, the server must detect that you've slowed down enough. Look at this battle of 4 cars that are for the same position, and they are cars less than half a car's length from back bumper to front bumper. But the top 3 seem to have separated themselves away from the rest. We've
unfortunately got 2 DNFs. We saw Rian van der Westhuizen's incident, so unfortunately that's him that has now retired. Timo Smith is also retired. I didn't see what happened there. As you see, Andre Hildebrand now pulling over. I'm not sure what's happening to Andre Hildebrand.
So Julian is trying hard. Julian has got rid of Sean Woollyfield to an extent by about 2 car lengths. So let's see if we can keep it at all. If they're going to get track limits like that, I'm not sure if the car was off the track completely. And is that Matty coming up on the inside, which is, I think he took 2 cars. There's a retirement to the right, or to his left, I think it is. But I think it was Matty just coming up the middle of the road and getting up into 5th position, I think it was. Yeah, this is Andre Hildebrand. He's chosen a nice spot. There's a gap in the wall.
Makes me think of a Pink Floyd song.
Right, yeah, it looks as though Sean Woollyfield is back with Julian Brains again. So that means Julian will have to concentrate what's happening in his mirrors, and behind that is Jonathan Benz. Now, Jonathan can get up on Sean and Julian. He'll be giving a massive advantage if he can be a threat to the 2 cars ahead of him. So let's see if that's going to happen. Oh, tries to look up on the inside and Julian defends. Oh, off onto the green. Oh, off. And nice chance there for Jonathan to get past Sean Woollyfield. There you see the mistake made by Sean Woollyfield, and diving in on that opportunity was Jonathan Benz.
I see both drivers getting a lot of track out of turn 1, but they both obviously rolled off.
Yeah.
Position change there.
All right, we'll have to wait and see whether they are going to be able to hold on to those positions. So he's got a nice little lead here at this stage.
We've got a Benz
And
1-2.
certainly
That's the first time that's happened.
They've been in the pack sort of with each other previously, but certainly this is the first time I think that they are in a 1-2 position on the track now. So interesting racing here. Here's Matthew Renault trying to come back, first on the inside, then on the outside. Now he's going to cut back to the inside again. He uses all around to try and, because then you don't know where that car is all earned. Looks as though he's going to make it work. Yeah, changing direction twice, switch back and a switch back again. And I think Matthew has taken that position. So where is Matthew now? In 4th position, if I'm correct.
Yep, in 4th place, that's right. So Sean being demoted down to 5th, and of course we got the Bumblebee, Gerrit Beekers, coming through the field as well, currently in 6th place, right behind Sean Olivier. Let's see how quick he can get past. Yes, he does. And it's still active, which means he'll have to ease off probably into this final, or into the first corner, which might give a bit of drive for Gerrit up the next. Yep, there, he's eased off a bit early. Gerrit closes in a bit, gets a bit of a slipstream as well, although he's not using it.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether that'll unbalance the car. You saw him use the curbing there, and that sort of pitched up the right-hand side of the car. And while those two wheels are in the air, that means you've got less grip. And not sure that it was for long enough that Gerrit could get the opportunity to go at him, but certainly it's something to be held in mind.
Julian having a good race, having a challenge at Matty at the moment. So Matty having to defend from Julian. Julian, ooh, Matty runs slightly wide there, so Julian getting up the inside almost. Behind him there's a nice three-way battle with Gerrit. Is that Sean, Gerrit and Monet? Monet having a look at Gerrit while Gerrit's trying to get past Sean.
Interesting battles all over on this circuit, and there's Gerrit Beekers, the flying Bumblebee, trying to get back. There's the car of Matty, that's black with yellow, and there's the car of Gerrit, which is yellow with a bit of black. So Gerrit Beekers is up into 6th position, I make it now. There's Julian Brains as well, just behind Matty, I think it is. So interesting race. Now that everybody seems, I wouldn't say set for their positions, but if you see on that very easy happen as it feeds, or that corner as it feeds into the main straight, you can see that the cars that are behind them, the top 6, about, I think it is, or the top 7 cars, are a long way back. So here you see the front 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a long gap before you see the next cars again. So they sort of cleared out on them.
See the guys bouncing over the curbs quite aggressively there as well.
Yeah, the curbs, as I say, I've seen before, are quite vicious, if one can call it that, or they're quite severe, that if you use too much curb, then it certainly is something that is going to affect the balance of your car.
Possibly change the lead. Emily fighting off her dad. She's not letting him have it. She's definitely fighting for every little bit of track that she can. Oh, it looks like she might have lost ground there. Side by side, she shares the inside.
I'm going to really think about that, because Matty's not that far back. And he comes sort of just forces his way. Is he going to get a warning? We'll wait and see.
Matty actually had a brief warning there.
Yeah.
Right, so that means Jonathan is now in the lead from Emily. Matty will now be closing in on Emily.
Right, and certainly it looks as though it was a bit of muscle power that did that, but all fair, and there was room given and room taken. Is Gerrit trying to do the same off the curbs? So on Morne de Pleu's got the best view in the house. Who's Gerrit just gotten ahead of?
Sean Olivier.
That's Sean Olivier, yeah. So Gerrit sort of muscling his way past, but there was also just a little bit of space left by Sean Olivier, and Gerrit took it, and by the time Gerrit was up on the inside, there was no chance for Sean to close that gap anymore. He would have had to have closed it a few seconds before. And then once that car's up on your inside, then you've got to hold one car's width at least. That's the right thing to do. So let's see. Right,
Emily's not giving her dad an easy time. Got into the lead, but she's fighting him, making him defend. So He's not given up.
No, she certainly is. That Matty in third, and then Julian, I think it is, in fourth position.
Yep. Good race for Julian.
Yeah,
Good
so-
meeting actually so far.
Yes, he certainly has had a good meeting. Alphan already in the top 10. So he's going to be happy about that for a change.
And he's behind Hilke, so
no,
Hilke having a good race as well, in 8th place at the moment, so well done to Hilke.
Yeah, Hilke hasn't been around for quite a while, and as we say, well, this is the last we'll be racing on this sim before going to another sim. So I think I wouldn't say he's out of tune with this sim, RaceRoom, but certainly having not driven as much as the other guys and ladies, he has not had as much practice as what they had.
So we unfortunately had Andre Hildebrand going off track earlier, and we thought he had a DNF, but he actually got going again, so maybe a hardware issue that might have been what caused the incident with Rian van der Veste, and we saw him going over into the dirt and fiddling a bit. But he is back on track. He's actually ahead of Johan Beker at the moment.
Did he just get nudged from behind? There just seemed to be a little bit of contact there, but all's fair as long as it ends well.
Yeah, so him and Johan are nice and close at the moment, very, very close together.
Yeah. So Jonathan is going to be. Where did Jonathan finish? Well, I'm just trying to think of the.
He finished fourth in race 1.
So there's, with the all swap, he might still be a candidate for the podium, in fact.
He could be, but I think at the moment it's looking like Matty might be odds on to take victory, because Matty had a third in race 1. It was Gerrit, Timo, and Matty Jonathan. Gerrit is behind Matty at the moment, and Jonathan is obviously behind him. Timo had unfortunately a DNF, and so therefore I think that would put Matty, maybe Matty then Jonathan. Matty first, Jonathan second for the evening.
Something. Yeah. So yeah, the mathematics will come to the fore. Johan Beker is still going strong. So we don't get to mention Johan often because he's one of the guys that goes out to enjoy himself. But if he's running and competing with one of the other drivers, then he's having left the Mornay.
That was Mornay and Sean Olivier.
That might be worth a penalty, but maybe he had two wheels just the side of the ball.
I think some of the tracks may... Oh, a bit of contact there. Gets Mornay into a bit of a slide. Loses a bit of ground there. Oh, actually ended up having a spin.
Yeah. And he was just fractionally behind. And I wouldn't say the door was closed on him, but there wasn't space to move. And I think we need to go onto the grass. They need to get that car spun around.
Alright, it looks like Julian's got his mirrors full now. Here comes the Bumblebee.
Yeah, so Paris, and this could be a good thing for Gerrit if he can get past Julian for solidifying a good podium position, because he, of course, won the first race. So the higher up he ends up in the points. And who's actually first, second, and third in quali?
Quali was Gerrit, Matty, Timo.
Okay, and Timo's out of this race. So Gerrit with the bonus points, that could come in handy. Matty being there in also the bonus points as well. So that could be very interesting. So Gerrit Beker has got passed, so he's up to fourth. So combined the fourth and the first and the bonus points and the fact that one of the top contenders has a DNF, I think we can quite consistently say that Gerrit is going to be... Gerrit and Matty seem to be done for the podium. We're not sure in which order who's going to be and who the third contender is, but that seems to be about it.
Aaron said, come on, Gerrit, show him how it's done one more time.
Yeah.
One more time in the MX5, that is.
Yeah, some of the guys enjoyed this car. I think some of them enjoyed it less. There's some guys saying Timo must get a move on. And I think is it Timo that got the DNF?
Yep, unfortunately Timo got the DNF. That's Jason. Welcome, Jason. Jason, you are...
Just in time to be late.
Jason, you are officially the champion as well. For some reason, Harvey's car is not showing up here, so we'll come back to that in a moment and see, maybe it will pop up again.
I'm actually just looking at the YouTube feed. He's in 11th. So not sure why he's not showing on the points there by you.
Yeah, on the telemetry, it's actually showing he's got 100% damage, which he clearly doesn't because he's driving, and for some reason his car is not showing up. So he's there. That's what happened to me. Click on him for some reason. He's driving in a different world.
Yeah.
So here's the battle for second. We got Matty challenging Emily.
Yeah, Emily was in the lead for a long time, then Jonathan got past her, and now Matty's also attack. Remember can you remember what it was in the East? Tora. The attack on Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, you broke up the first part, and I was going to ask what the question was, but your answer allowed me to figure out what the question was.
All that's happening to Emily is she's being attacked from all corners. Yeah, she got used to it with Jonathan. Now Matty's also at the back end of Emily's car. So now she has to defend.
It's changing. It's all over the back end of it. Here he comes.
I must say, some of the drivers are actually very good at selling a double dummy, and it looks as though that one corner, I think, leading into the stadium section, there's up on the inside now, I don't think enough. When you come into the stadium section, you saw he's got wheels up on the curb there. That's going to potentially slow him down. Then the guy doesn't really, the other driver doesn't really know who to defend. Was that a bit of contact?
Yeah, I think Matty got much later on the brakes there, and there was definitely a bit of contact.
Yeah. So yeah, looks like both cars are still going well. Hopefully, depending on the start, but certainly some guys just have a natural ability to brake a lot later than others, and maybe not hard on the brakes, and that's why she brakes a little bit earlier. Whereas some of the guys go into the corners. I'm not sure if these cars are kitted out with ABS and are allowed to race with ABS, and whether that comes into play. Because of course, if you do have ABS, you stop on the brakes, and the wheels aren't going to lock.
I believe they do have ABS built in, traction control as well, or some form of traction control, but I don't think it's very heavy. You can still spin the car up.
Yeah, well, I did an advanced training back in the days of the old car lobby, and there they said just don't get to think because you've got ABS that you can stomp on the brakes. The guy behind you might be driving an old Fucky that doesn't have ABS, and you'll end up on your back seat. So you have to keep that in mind as well. But yeah, Jonathan Ben's off. I don't know how much time's remaining there, Dennis, but the battle is on for second and third.
At the moment, that is just over 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, so it's a lap and a bit.
And as Aaron is saying, here comes the Bumblebee. Here comes Carrot.
Yeah.
He's now right up behind Matty while Matty's fighting with Emily. Carrot is slowly been closing in.
Yes, and it might just be enough if he can get past, he might even be able to attack Emily as well. But I can be sure if you look now the gap between Emily's car and Matty's car, Matty I think is focusing on defending from Gerrit now. So just a little bit of breathing space for Emily, and that inadvertently supplied to her by the Flying Bumblebee. Who's got the race slow down there?
That is Sean Olivier. I think that's the second one in a row now.
So, yeah, go the Bumblebee, and this is the first time I think we've had the black and yellow car and the yellow and black car each on the track fighting for position, that we can actually see the difference between them very clearly. We've always spoken about it.
It's like the colours are almost inverted.
Yes, almost. We're looking at Gerrit's car at Matty, and you can see that Matty is a car length behind Emily. So Emily's not going to like that much, and she would hope that Gerrit could get a lot closer to Matty to make life difficult for Matty, so that she can actually have some breathing space. There's Jonathan in the black, red, and white bonnet car. Or the bonnet is predominantly white, but the car looks black and red. But Emily's still going well and fighting to retain the second position of the second race of round 10 at Hockenheim of the Mazda MX5 Cup, brought brought to you by the safeboys.com.
This is, of course, the final lap that we're heading into now. So this is the battle for second place. I think first place is safely Jonathan's barring a mistake. But who will be second? Who will be third? Who will be fourth?
Yeah, second, third, and fourth. That's the three cars that you see there. Emily, Matty, and Gerrit. And looks like Gerrit is doing the double flip-flop again. And Emily, I think, is defending the inside line, which covers it. And Gerrit is going to dial up the inside there of Matty. And now with that might change the perspective completely for Matty, is what he intends to do going forward to try and attack Emily.
I'm sure Gerrit is loving this. This is probably the most fun you can be in when you've got a battle like this and you're playing, and the guy in the middle is probably the one that hates it because he's got to defend and attack at the same time.
Yeah, you've got to have eyes like a chameleon, one looking forward and one looking backward.
Nice move there, at least Matty getting up on the inside. Emily just leans on his door though.
Yeah.
Now Gerrit gets another chance going around the outside.
And that will probably keep Matty's attention for a while.
And that means Jonathan comes across the line. Sorry, Batin comes across the line to take victory. It looks like Emily will defend. Well done.
Yeah, she'll take second. Well done. That was just enough arriving behind Matty just to take Matty's attention and to defend the second place.
I think
So
that was
that's
some hard racing there, but fair, I think.
Yes, I didn't see anything untoward. I think the moves made. A little bit of leaning here and there, but not any real where they taking anybody else out. All the cars remained going in the same direction, which is what one hopes to do.
Good race for Mel tonight, so good to see him back on track and getting a good result, as did Stam Zaynard. We didn't see him much in race 2, but we saw a bit of him in race 1, some good battles. I think he was in a little bit of no man's land in race 2, but getting a good solid 9th place. Andre Hildebrandt's managing to come back through the field up to 10th place after having that incident, so good result in the end.
Yeah.
Rudy van der Veste is behind him. Yeah. And Javier, which I think is still not going to show on track. And then Johan Dirkes will take 13th place, which will be the final points position, because Jilke in the end got a DNF, which we didn't see. No, he did actually, yes, he did get a DNF. Rian got a DNF and Timo got a DNF.
Right.
So Johan will now come across the line. That will be the final driver to take the checkered flag. And I'm just going to do a quick save of our points as we wait for all the drivers to cross the line. And I'm going to jump to an ad break, and we'll be back for the interviews and possibly a interview with our championship winner. Until then, we'll be back shortly. right, welcome back everybody. Of course, this brings us to the end of the Safe Boys MX5 Cup. This is the end of round 10, which is the final round from the Hockenheim National Circuit. We are joined by our top 3 drivers for the evening, as well as our championship winning driver for the championship. So let's first do our interviews. We have finishing first overall, Gerrit Beekers, second overall, Matty Renan, and Jonathan Bentz, third overall. So the points coming into this, well, for this final round, we have Gerrit on 665, Matty on 632, and Jonathan on 630. So extremely close with the points. Gerrit, good to see Bumblebee back in its, I guess, its familiar position of P1. We had your followers all happy that you're back there again. We had Ariane Balder saying, come on, show us for one last time what you're capable of. It must be good to at least go out on top. How was the race meeting for you? And now, I guess, pretty happy to have this sim in the past.
Sorry, Dennis, was that for me? Sorry, my Discord just dropped.
Yes, it was. I was just asking you, what is this? I guess you're happy to have this sim now in the past, and was it good to end on a high note?
Yeah, RaceRoom wasn't too bad. Just took a while to learn it. You know, it's actually quite different to what we used to. But yeah, it was actually quite fun. And just congratulations to Jason. He drove really well. So yeah, on to the next one, and hopefully can go better at a different sim.
Yeah, good one. Well done. And in second place, we have Matty. Matty, I know your English is not the greatest, so you can say whatever short message you would like to say, but a fantastic meeting, getting second overall. We saw some really good battles with yourself and some of the drivers there. So a good race 1, a good race 2, and getting second overall. It's one of your strongest race meetings, I think, of the championship. So if there's anything you'd like to say, what can you tell us for your races? I'm not sure if you're there, Matty. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. You're very soft, but we can hear you.
Yeah, it was the whole championship for me was very interesting, and I learned a lot during the championship, and it was great fun today as well as in the other races and rounds. And I just want to thank you guys for hosting this championship and commentating. And also congratulations to Jason for the winning.
Well, thank you very much, Matty, and thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you, and maybe some of our drivers would like to join your guys' championship, which is, I believe, the Petrolhead Racing Championship. You guys do a lot of RaceRoom, so if the guys here that really want to go and do some more RaceRoom, then you guys are the guys that they need to join up with if they haven't joined, and they can do some more RaceRoom racing. But thank you for joining, and it's a pity that we didn't have more of your guys racing. I know some of our races overlapped a bit, but good to see you up there and fighting with the guys, fighting for victories. Then in third place we have Jonathan Bentz. Jonathan, a fantastic meeting for you. We had Emily having a great race in race 2. You eventually had to fight really hard and put her in her place, I guess, and say, sorry, daddy comes first. A great race meeting though. Talk us through it.
Yeah, look, race 1 was quite a tough race. It was the guys up front were super fast. Gerrit and Renan and Smith, they were holding great pace up front there, and I struggled to get some rhythm there. Only towards the end of the race did I get some rhythm, and then almost it was almost the last lap, last corner pass there for third, but that wasn't to be. And then so great racing for the guys in race 1. Race 2, I was quite lucky there with having the fast cars behind me, so I just managed to work my way up the grid and up to P1, and then just manage the gap to the end. I was a bit lucky there, and the championship has been superb. I kind of wish that I hit the ground a bit more running and I didn't miss that whole race around Suzuka, I think it was. But yeah, great championship. I'm really enjoying RaceRoom.
You definitely had some good pace. So I think if you hadn't missed the rounds and you maybe had a bit of luck, you definitely had the pace to be a contender for the championship, but it just didn't quite work out. But at least you had a really good end of the championship, and getting a victory in the end is a good way to end.
For sure, good battles and good racing is what we really want to do.
All right, and then of course we are also joined by our championship winner, which of course is Jason Underwood. Jason, congratulations on the championship. Yet another championship under your belt. That was a fantastic show of form in this series. You kind of at some point looked like you were going to be losing a little bit of form, and then you just came back even harder, and after that you seemed a bit untouchable. Talk us through the championship. What is your preparation like, and what's it like to have yet another championship under your belt?
Hi, well, firstly, thank you to yourself and Sean once again. But also thank you to all the other drivers. I think it was one very entertaining and very well driven championship. So, but yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've missing the two events, especially missing today, unfortunately, due to cricket commitments. Sean's always very quick, so I was one eye on the cricket field and one eye on the stream to see what was happening. But just very happy to get another one done, and more importantly, looking forward to the future for other events, and hopefully there's going to be some more in RaceRoom because it's very nice. But I think Jonathan and I have got something up our sleeves for RaceRoom in the next coming weeks, so looking forward to that. But thank you again for everyone. It was really good.
Oh, well done again. And then we'll just conclude with our winning driver for the day. Gerrit, a final question for you. Going into the next championship, which will be a Assetto Corsa Competizione championship, it's going to be something totally different from this, going back to GT3 cars. What was it like driving a slower car, and now you've been testing other cars? Are you happy to be going to a GT3 car? Do you enjoy the slower cars, or do you prefer the faster cars? Give us your feedback as winning this and going out of this into a totally different series.
Yeah, looking at RaceRoom was kind of difficult for me because the maybe the lock setups and the car it's got extreme understeer. I like a more oversteer type style driving. So yeah, it was fun learning this way of driving, and it's definitely a more smooth, definitely a learning curve. And then yeah, going to ACC is a whole different beast. There it's more technical, tire temperatures, and the faster cars I do enjoy. But yeah, ACC will be completely different. Not a lot of us has got a lot of experience there, but we've been chipping away at it, and we're definitely getting up to speed. So that'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, we'll have a good look at that. I just want to say, especially to you and Sean, just thank you guys for everything you do. It's always a pleasure and always good. Thank you.
Thank you, and always a pleasure having you guys driving as good as you do. So thank you for making it what it is. And of course, so that is the end of the round. So this is the end of the MX5 Cup. So what we're all talking about, of course, is the upcoming round, which will be the GT3 Assetto Corsa Competizione series, which will start in probably 2 weeks' time, maybe 3 weeks' time. So we'll have our R-Factor 2 GT3 endurance race next weekend, which is once there's five races left. That's at the end of every month. But then we also have this GT3 series coming up, which is 1 hour races, which will have 2 races a month the next couple of months. So that should be quite fun as well for the drivers. And that will be our next entertainment. So until that series, we will have to wait a week or two for 1 more week for the endurance, and then a couple more weeks for this. And then we can get going again and hopefully have very good attendance. I'm sure we'll see most of our drivers coming back. But for those that won't be coming back, thank you very much for joining us for the RaceRoom Racing. We really appreciated it. It was a great success. Thank you for the drivers that came from all abroad, all our drivers that joined that hadn't driven it before, and hopefully we'll see most of you guys in the next series. So until then, thank you very much, and yeah, goodbye everyone. Till then.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.